Happy to have my next guest back on the show. It's Ross Dannar, who has another big fight, this time at NEF 51, February the 11th against Bruce Boyington. Ross, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Ryan. How are you?
I'm good. It's basically fight week, man. I mean, it's Sunday. The fight is this coming Saturday, so we're under a week away now. How excited are you?
It feels good. It's always incredible to get to fight week because it's so hard just to get here. So I feel like I've paid my dues. I just got to make weight, and then it's party time. Get to put on a show.
What's the weight at right now?
Let's see, 167 yesterday, 168 today. I had a lazy day yesterday, so I'm headed to the gym after this.
You don't anticipate any issues making the weight, I have to imagine.
No, no, no. I feel like I've only gotten better at making weight ever since I started fighting. Devin Powell has been a great resource. He has a lot of experience cutting weight, and he taught me how to stop doing it like a wrestler and beating myself up and to do it the right way. So uh yeah, yeah, all the confidence that I'll be there and on weight.
Are you a sauna guy? Do you like to utilize that?
Yeah, yeah. I used to when I talk about Devin helping me in that regard, it's like I used to just run, treadmill, bike, anything to get a sweat going. And now that I've been introduced to the sauna, just layering up and having that low impact work and getting the weight off, it's so much easier on my body, and I save that much more for competition. I feel like if you look at any of my older fights, you can tell my cardio is affected by my weight cut for sure. Like I'm tired by the third round, where I feel fresh. I feel fresh every to be in there. So I think it helps a lot.
Yeah.
Definitely a sauna guy.
The sauna that I use gets up to like 220 degrees. How hot does the one you
Oh,
use?
that's I don't think ours goes above 140. 220 is wicked hot.
Oh my God, yeah. It's ridiculous. I struggle
Yeah.
because some guys will stay in there longer than 20 minutes and I hit 15 and I'm like, oh my God, get me out of here.
Well, I mean, I'm no professional, but that's freaking dangerous, man. Like you gotta make sure you're okay before you overheat there. But hey, if they know what they're doing,
Yeah.
I guess they're fine.
I bring a big jug of water, so I'm constantly pounding that. Tell me,
Yeah.
how has camp been for you? Obviously, all the hard work is behind you now. Now it's fight week. It's all about getting that weight off. How was camp?
It's been great. I mean, injuries are a part of the sport, so I've had a couple there, but that's nothing new. But my resources have only gotten better ever since the young bloods came to Nostos, like around COVID time, and they've surpassed me and gotten so much better, and I'm just so happy and so confident working in a room full of savages. Not to mention, like we got people like Aaron Lacey who decided to come down and join our team. Like all those resources have been amazing this entire fight camp. So fight camp's been great. Always a struggle, but it's the good kind of struggle, not the bad kind. Yeah.
You mentioned Aaron, so I got to ask. He was supposed to be fighting on this NEF card.
Yeah.
Taylor Trahan pulled out, so that's not happening. But he has a new fight. He's fighting at Combat
Yeah.
FC. What
Yeah.
is his mindset? Is he happier that he's got this opportunity to fight for Combat FC?
I don't know if I can speak for Aaron. I'm kind of bummed in general that he didn't get to perform in front of his home crowd, but he's an opportunist, and he's gonna make the most of this fight camp by jumping on another card and fighting somebody who uh like it's kind of like a last minute decision. But Aaron's got a killer mindset, and he's here to perform. So man, if hopefully I can get on that stream and it won't be too interrupted by uh, uh, weigh-ins and stuff like that, and me shoveling food in my face after weigh-ins. Hopefully, I get some time aside to make sure that I tune in for that one, and I hope everybody else does too. I'm excited for that.
I think it's safe to say Aaron has probably been really dialed in camp. Is he looking pretty
Oh
good?
yeah. Oh, Aaron's one of the sharpest guys in the room. Of course, his experience shows when it comes to training with him. I feel like I've only had one fight as a pro. I feel like when I'm going with Aaron, he's giving me looks of like knees to the face, elbows, and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, right, yeah, we're professionals, right? Okay, we gotta work on that. And and not to say like I don't work on that stuff, but Aaron's just so clean with his techniques and his experience, and yeah, it's great to have around. I'm really looking forward to watching him compete again.
For sure. You got a couple of other teammates on this NEF card that have some big
Yeah,
fights, a couple of
yeah.
title fights. Key Baltazar fighting for the 135 strap, and then Kyle Pufall for the 155 strap. Also, Nathaniel
Yeah.
Grimard back in there. Just run
Hmm.
me through, your expectations for their upcoming fights here on this Saturday.
Oh man, they've all done it right. We've at Nostos we give them every reason to quit, and nobody quits. So I'm so excited to watch these guys try uh put it to their opponents. I got nothing but confidence in our team, and yeah, the key man, he's he's one of the smaller weight classes that we have in the room. And he still competes with all of us and does a phenomenal job. So, and that's going to be a great way to start the night. Um, was my Pufal's been my introduction to striking as a grappling heavy mixed martial artist. So I'm excited to watch him put on a clinic, and we've been working everything in the book with him. And Nathaniel, he's my go-to when I'm trying to make sure that my wrestling's not getting rusty. So uh, I really hope to see him shine as well. Yeah, I got yeah, it's gonna be hard, honestly, to stay focused on my own fight with me being so excited to watch my friends and my teammates perform before me. So yeah, it'll be a balance of me focusing on myself and being hyped up for my teammates that night. It's gonna be
Yeah,
fun.
I was going to ask, how is that going to work? Are you going to be kind of coming down, watching the fights, and then going
I,
back and forth?
Ryan, I have no clue what last time when I fought Mo, I stayed in the back the entire time, but um, and I did want to watch them fight, but at this point, I feel like, man, I really want to see my teammates perform. So it's really going to come down to how I feel that day. If I feel like it's going to distract me, then I might just stay in the back and have to wait till the stream comes out to watch it, like everybody else who didn't get a ticket or didn't stream it. And that's fine, but you know I don't know. I'll either ride the wave or I'll try to stay calm and save my energy for Bruce. It depends. Depends. It's hard to contain my excitement though.
Okay, we'll just have to wait and see how that plays out come fight night. Now,
Yeah.
Ross, with all of the great training partners that you have at Nostos, can you kind of put some of them into different categories? As you I mean, you talked about Nathaniel helps you with your wrestling, right? And
Hmm.
Kufal helps you, with your striking. Is
Yeah.
there someone in particular that maybe just goes harder than everyone else? Or is everyone pretty much going at the same pace?
uh man, who goes the hardest? I could really cause like a feud with Nostos right now if I
Well, I don't want you to do that. I'm just
no, I'm
wondering.
all for it. I'm all for it. See, then people got to prove me wrong. You know what? I always I've said it before, I personally I've been working on my technique for a while, but cardio and drive is something that I push. But man, if I'm at the top there, then Brody and Kyle Hill are like surpassing me and making me work harder and harder. I'm like, they make me feel my age, man. Like they those guys are incredibly hard workers, and honestly, like there's so many different options for classes and stuff, and sometimes I don't see the other people working, but really it changes from week to week. If someone's having an off week, then everybody leaves them in the dust, man, and I've been that person. So we it's kind of like that relay race. Everybody wants to be first, so we all push to try and be that dog, that hardest worker in the room. Ah, man, I feel like I didn't answer your question, but hey, it really does change week to week.
Okay.
I think we do a good job trying to push each other.
Fair enough. I think that's a
Yeah.
great answer. Let me ask you this, because I've seen some of the guys wearing basketball jerseys. I mean, even head coach Devin Powell. Who's the best basketball player at the gym?
Oh, I can't answer that. I I I started wrestling, Ryan, in seventh grade because I didn't make the basketball team. So I don't think I'm a good judge for
Okay.
anybody's character when it comes to basketball. But I know I could piss Kyle Hill off if I said that I was better at basketball than him, or
Okay.
Brody could
So
dunk over him.
Kyle Hill.
But I think Kyle Hill is probably like the person that probably plays the most basketball. So I'd have to go with him. You know, he wanted the freaking the jerseys for his fight shirt. So I'd say Kyle Hill's got to be the the best basketball player, but I don't know.
Good answer. That was one of the reasons why I asked. So I think next time I talk to Kyle, I'll have to dig into that a little bit, because that was my
Yeah.
sport growing up. I grew up playing basketball as my first love, so I'll have to talk to him a little bit
Uh,
more
my entire
about that.
family was basketball players, Ryan, and I was just the ugly duckling. It was just like I don't know, I don't know how to dribble. I just toss it and just beam it off the backboard. I was just look at him like, am I doing it right? It's just
Well,
way too much energy, way too much aggression. So good, I found wrestling.
yeah, I was gonna say you're doing pretty darn well for yourself, so give yourself
Yeah,
a little bit of credit here. Now,
yeah, fit the mold.
Ross, one of the things I wanted to ask you, I mean, we haven't seen you fight since the Mo Kanani performance, and we talked after that. We've already broke that whole fight down, and what a
Yeah,
masterful win that was. But is there a reason why you haven't fought since then? Because I thought that maybe we'd see you back in by now.
a reason why I haven't fought since then. Um, man, what was last year like? I think I had some. Oh, you know what? I think when I was talking to you, um, after the Mo fight, I was like, oh, my neck really kind of hurts. Like that injury bugged me for the next like 2 months, Ryan. Like I didn't feel it in the moment, but man, did he hit me hard, and it lasted a while. Um, but I was out of shape a little bit. Again, like I said, I wanted to focus on the team, so it was time for me to put energy back into the gym. And I have a hard time balancing life and fight camp. So I think a lot of that might have just been catching up on life stuff. But Devin was in my ear the entire time, be like, "Hey, when you're ready, there's opportunities. So when you're ready, and I think it was probably around like December, or maybe a little bit before Christmas or something. He kind of put Bruce's name in my ear. I was like, that sounds fun. And just I don't know, it's just the way I operate. But I'm trying to get to a point where I can fight more often, and that's been an uphill battle ever since I got injured like 5 years ago. I had like a 3 or 4 year uh, point between competition where I wasn't fighting at all, but I was training, but I just knew in my body I felt like I couldn't perform at the level like you're trying to run faster but your legs won't carry you. And I'm trying to get there more often. And my goal after I fought Mo was maybe every 6 months I could probably get on a schedule and go bump, fight, and that would be really nice if I could get into that routine. And it's been about 7, so I'm getting close to my goals when it comes to fighting. But yeah, I don't know. It's we'll see if I can ever pull off a back-to-back fight after fight camp. But I put everything into the cage, and I really don't care if I get hurt or not when I'm in that environment. So it all depends on my body, I guess.
Okay, but you're feeling really good right now. I mean, a week out,
Yeah.
your body feels as healthy as it can be.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's always injuries. you know, that's part of the sport. So like I'm not gonna complain if my body's aching a little bit here or there, like, you know, I'm sore. But yeah, I mean, with what I'm working with, I'm at peak performance, so I'm happy. Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned when you first heard Bruce's name, that was exciting to you. I
Yeah.
mean, you only had one pro fight. Granted, it was against Mo Kanani, so that's a very high level fighter. Bruce is someone that the New England fight fans know very well.
Mhm.
17-12. He's got a whole bunch of experience. Did that ever, play into considering if you wanted to take this fight or not?
Absolutely. Fighting a veteran is just, first of all, it makes me feel like uh feels feels like I maybe earned a place among some of these great fighters, and you know, to be offered him was I don't know. I felt uh, almost respected in a way to be offered somebody as well ingrained in the fight history of New England as Bruce, and I'm like, man, this is a good opportunity for me to show, like, first off, that, fighting Mo and beating him wasn't a fluke, and can really show that I can show against good, reputable experience as well. And for me, I used to fight angry, but now I fight uh for respect. It's all about trying to earn the respect of the people that watch me, and even my opponents sometimes, which I've been lucky that I've been able to pull that off. But to uh to get the respect of fight fans and my opponent is usually, something that I strive for. And if I can uh do good enough against a fighter like Bruce, who's been through the ringer and been through it all, then I think I'm in a pretty good place. That's what I'm striving for on fight night.
Have you watched a lot of tape on him in this camp?
I watched more than Mo, which I didn't watch any of Mo's tape. I watched some of Bruce's, and then I didn't want to hyper focus on what he does, and wanted to focus on myself. So after watching a little bit of his tape, I kind of pushed that off to my corners, and ask them. Uh, I don't think I even had to ask. Like, they just analyzed the film for me, broke it down for me, and said, these are the things you need to work on. Uh, these are the things that, we think are going to work well for this fight in particular. And I said, okay, and did my training, my routine, and yeah, just kind of built myself up, uh, in order to fight Bruce's style, and what he brings and what he offers.
Now, as I mentioned earlier, a guy with a ton of experience, as we all know, but he is north of 40, so he is getting a little bit older now for the fight game, anyways.
Yeah.
And we saw his last fight against Manny Bermudez, and what happened there. Do you feel like maybe you're catching him at a good time where you're coming into your prime and maybe he's getting out of it a
Mm.
little bit?
Have you ever heard the term old man strength?
Oh yeah.
I don't believe that there's an age limit. Um, First off, because I want to do this for a long time, and second off, because like the fact, a lot of people brought this up. They're like, "Oh man, you're fighting this old man. You're fighting this old man." I was like, "Those are some dangerous, those are some dangerous motherfuckers. All right, you don't want to mess with an old man that has experience and strength. Like, that is a dangerous person right there." So a lot of people have brought that up and be like, "He's old. You're gonna take him out and stuff like that." And be like, I've viewed it personally, because I like viewing it as a challenge, first off, but I viewed it personally as he's got experience, he's strong, and that age isn't necessarily a disadvantage for him, but rather an advantage. So I made sure not to overlook the benefits that Bruce has for being somebody that's experienced and very, very built for fighting the way he is. I don't think age plays a factor at all. I'm not gonna be thinking about that fight night at all.
Well, I mean, when you look at the guy, he's clearly in tip-top shape. So
Yeah,
he's coming in there, and he's probably going to have the cardio to go the distance
absolutely.
if that's what plays out in the fight. But
Mhm.
we know his background in Taekwondo and how slick he is on the feet. Do you feel that it's going to be, without giving away your game plan, do you feel like it's going to be smart to stand with him, or do you want to get this to the ground?
I don't know if smart's my fight style. I stood up with Mo. So um like I said, I'm after respect. So I'm there to fight him on all fronts. I'm not there to use what I have to kind of extinguish his game plan. I wanna meet the man in the cage and have a good fight. So I have no idea how that's gonna play out, but I smart's not the the process that I take. It's more head on, I suppose.
Ross, if you do beat Bruce, what does that say for where you're at in your career and what's next?
Um, if I do beat Bruce, uh, what it says for me is that Nostos is one of the top gyms in New England, and uh, that my training camp and all the practice that I've been doing has been validated. And for what's next, it's the same as always. Just I like to fight, have my moment, and then turn my attention back to the gym and help raising up the ones that helped raise me up. So I think it's just uh, a huge step forward for my training partners and myself. Which I'm not trying to go to the top alone. I'm trying to bring my whole team with me, and they're doing their best to bring me with them as well. So uh, that's the goal. That's the overall goal, is to get there, but not alone.
If you're healthy, how many times can we expect to see you compete this year? What's the plan as far as that goes?
Well, uh, it's complicated because I'm planning a wedding right now, so that might make it difficult to have a fight. Because I don't think I want to get married with a black eye, busted leg, and whatever else fight Ross might look like. So it's really hard. This is going to be a very busy year for me. Um, so, man, maybe one more time if I'm good, if I'm responsible. But we'll see how responsible I can be.
All right, man. Well, hey, congratulations on the upcoming wedding, whenever that may be. I'm sure it's going to be a
Thank you.
beautiful one. I appreciate you doing
Absolutely.
this again, man, and joining me before the fight. Again, NEF
Yeah.
51 goes down this coming Saturday, February the 11th at the Cross Insurance Center in Bangor, Maine. Ross, before we do sign off, my man, I want to give you the floor. Please tell people where they can follow you on social media. If you have any sponsors, anything to plug, the floor is yours.
Of course. Thank you. I'm at Rassel Ross on Instagram, Facebook, just Ross Dannar. I think there's three of them because I have old accounts I never deleted, but whatever, one of them. And I want to thank my sponsors, management, Nostos MMA, House Management. Thank you so much. It makes it so much easier to focus on fighting with good management. Hall Bros Roofing, Bill Jones, you're the man, always there for us. Uh, um, Hagen's Motor Pool, thank you so much for sponsoring me again, and I'll raise your name up along with me. And Amy's Therapeutic Massage, thank you very much. I can't wait to recover after this fight as well as performing. And thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Hey,
Yeah.
the last time that I interviewed you, I could have sworn you said to pronounce your last name was Dannar. Is that not it? Is it Danner?
Did I just say Danner?
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, I did. I pronounce it both ways, and so I will not discriminate anybody who does it, who
Okay.
does either way. Dinar's, more powerful when you're feeling authoritative. Danner's when you're just, it's part of a middle of a sentence, not that important. So that's all. Whatever suits you.
Okay, good enough, man. I
Yeah,
just wanted to
yeah.
make
Thanks.
sure. I wanted to pronounce it right. Well, listen, man,
I appreciate that. Yeah, appreciate that.
of course, man. I appreciate you doing this. Best of skill this Saturday, and I look forward to having you back again.
Thank you, Ryan.